$366,000 right here. Let's see if we can get a closer look at this card. It's a good-looking card. I'm not going to lie to you. Wow, that's bananas.
Did you notice that Caitlin Clark's rookie card has a $366,000 price tag? It's not a typo. Not only is this breaking records, but it's destroying them, surpassing Serena Williams' prior women's sports card record. Someone actually paid more for her card than the average person does for their home. What does this imply? It implies that Clark is the WNBA Sneedle, not simply the needle.
Let's talk about Caitlin Clark, and once again, proving that she is the driving force.
While some league members pretend that her impact is exaggerated, the figures show that $366,000 speaks louder than any critic, and you won't believe what experts are saying about her card's potential value in a matter of months.
Once again, showcasing that when it comes to everybody else, they are a distant second. Who that is for sure in women's sports, I don't know. But at this point, it's pretty clear Caitlin Clark is driving the bus and driving the sales.
This isn't just any Caitlin Clark card, though. It's a 2024 Panini Prism WNBA Signatures Gold Vinyl Prism Rookie card with a PSA Gem Mint 10 grade. And the best part is that it's a one-of-a-kind card, the only one of its kind on the planet. That's what makes it worth more than most people's homes.
Every time Caitlin Clark, one of her trading cards, one of her sports cards, breaks a record, and we've got a new one, and it is freaking ridiculous. I mean, this is crazier than hell. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
For a moment, consider that in a world where thousands of sports cards are produced every day, this one card stands entirely alone. It's little wonder collectors were willing to spend $366,000. For most people, that sum of money is life-altering.
A new record for any women's sports card. Final sale in this 2024 Panini Prism WNBA Signatures Gold Vinyl Prism Caitlin Clark signed rookie, 1 of 1. There's only one of these in existence. It was a PSA Gem Mint 10. That's a damn good grade.
Before Clark broke onto the top-selling women's sports card, which was owned by tennis legend Serena Williams and sold for $266,400, let's put this into perspective. Serena's record-breaking card even included a piece of her Matchworks card, which is just her signature. The immaculate card itself had no jersey swatch or piece of equipment, but it still broke Serena's record by an impressive $100,000.
We had the record for a WNBA card. This passes the record for a woman's sports card period that was previously held by a Serena Williams card, and this was sold for about $100,000 more than the Serena Williams card.
The speed at which this occurred just serves to heighten the amazement. Most athletes need years, or perhaps their whole careers, to establish this kind of value in the collector's market, but Clark is changing the rules more quickly than she can make three-pointers. Clark has only just finished her rookie season.
It sold for $366 freaking $1,000. I mean, wow. What can you say about this? That almost leaves me speechless.
Her signature is positioned flawlessly. The card's immaculate condition earned it the coveted PSA 10 grade, and the gold vinyl finish is so gorgeous that it seems practically alive when illuminated. Every collector is aware that the one-of-one label is what drives people crazy during auctions.
Cost of her trading cards is, again, evidence of this. And her most recent one went for a record.
But there's more going on here. Experts see this as something much more important than just a pretty basketball card. It's about owning a piece of what many consider to be a turning point in the history of women's sports. People aren't merely collecting cardboard. They're investing in a cultural change.
It is a 2024 Prism Gold Vinyl Rookie 1-of-1 auto, which means it's autographed. 1-of-1 obviously means it's the only one in existence, and someone paid $366,000 for it.
Remember how the value of Michael Jordan rookie cards skyrocketed? It wasn't just because they were uncommon, it was because people realized they were watching history unfold. The same thing is happening with Clark right now. Collectors aren't just placing bets on a rookie, they're placing bets on a revolution.
A new record for a female athlete. Caitlin is the needle. There we go. I think I just said that. Smashed the old record held by Serena by $100,000.
An unprecedented feat by a female athlete. There we go. Caitlin is the needle. I believe I just broke Serena's previous record by $100,000.
This one was $130,000 more expensive than the previous high.
This card was purchased by the previous owner for $236,000. It increased in value by $130,000 just 4 months ago in less time than most people take to pay off a car loan. This is not typical appreciation. It's a financial rocket ship.
What is it going to be like? Look, what are these cards going to be like in 5 years when she's got a championship, a couple of MVPs in there, etc., etc.?
Before Clark arrived, women's sports cards were hardly a thing on most collectors' radars. Now, they are the hottest commodity in the hobby, with dealers rushing to get inventory and collectors vying to build their Clark collections before prices rise even further. What makes this card truly unique isn't just that it's breaking price records, it's creating an entirely new market.
I'm fairly confident we're headed towards a $500,000 card at some point. We're not that far away now. I mean, we're $140,000 away now.
The collecting world has completely changed as a result of this meteoric rise. Stores that once kept their WNBA boxes hidden under counters are now putting them on display, and online forums that hardly ever discussed women's basketball now have whole sections devoted to price tracking and Clark card discussions.
Clark has the top 30 WNBA cards, at least. So, and the boxes for WNBA cards, like the one over my shoulder, are selling at the same level or at a higher price than NBA cards, because that Caitlin Clark rookie is in there.
What's happening with Caitlin Clark's cards is beyond unprecedented. She not only owns the most valuable WNBA card ever, but she literally owns the top 30 most valuable WNBA cards in history. Think about that for a moment. Not just the number one spot, the entire top 30. That kind of market dominance is unheard of in any sport, male or female. Those store owners aren't just rearrange their displays for fun. They're racing to keep up with history in the making.
For a record, Clark set all these records on the basketball court. Obviously, the scoring record in college, the assist record in the WNBA. So many rookie records that you can't even list them off.
And if you think that's just collector craziness, wait until you hear this. WNBA card boxes are now selling for the same price as NBA boxes in many stores, or even more. This has never happened in the history of sports cards. Shop owners who used to hide their WNBA inventory in dusty back corners are now treating them like precious commodities. And guess what? They're still selling out within hours of hitting the shelf.
But she now has the record for a sports card trading card, for a woman's sports trading card, because she had it go for $366,000.
The fact that established WNBA stars like A.A. Wilson, an MVP with championship credentials who once command the highest prices in the league, now see their cards selling for a fraction of what Clark's cards go for makes this change even more remarkable. We're talking about rookie cards surpassing established superstars by multiples, not just small percentages.
I don't know how that will, change in the future years. And obviously, like Victor Wembanyama has been a really sought after commodity in the trading card community. But Caitlin Clark has set a new standard, a new mark for women's trading cards, women's sports trading cards.
The market is being driven by more than just traditional card collectors. Big investors who had previously had no interest in women's sports memorabilia are now pouring into the market and treating Clark's cards like blue-chip investments. These investors aren't merely fans searching for mementos. They are serious money makers who see an opportunity to make money when they see W.
And we just closed the gap of $130,000 in basically 3.5, almost about 4 months. 4 months. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
Speaking of financial potential, analysts have already boldly predicted where the record-breaking one-of-one card market is headed. If her trajectory continues, insiders estimate it might reach $500,000 by the end of her rookie season. Keep in mind that this is a player who has just finished her first professional season.
97,000, 105,000, 234,000, 366,000. Unbelievable.
In just 4 months, the margin between the previous record and the present record was close to $130,000. This type of rapid appreciation occurs when the market realizes that something genuinely significant is happening.
Buy a decent house for that, laughing my ass off. Here in East Texas, you could buy a damn nice house. You could have a new one built here for that, to be honest with you. Probably 1,800 square foot, 2,200 square foot, with all the amenities.
There is much more to what we are seeing than just one valuable card. Clark has completely changed the economics of women's basketball collectibles. She hasn't merely entered an already existing market. Prior to Clark's arrival, a completely new one was developed. Previously an afterthought in the collecting community, women's basketball cards are now the focus of the entire pastime.
To go up from here, right? Like these things don't tend to go down. So if you're into that hobby, you're going to need a pretty penny in order to make an investment on the piece of cardboard featuring Caitlin Clark.
When you take a step back and examine the numbers, one thing becomes quite evident. In addition to being a fantastic basketball player, Clark is a financial powerhouse. She is the type of athlete that not only breaks records, but also transforms entire industries. Her presence has had a lasting impact on the collecting world that will last for decades.
Now, if you listen to the WNBA players, jealousy, pettiness, and envy ooze from their pores. Well, man, the oozing is going to be out of control at this point.
There's an interesting thing going on behind the scenes that no one is discussing, and the schedule is honest. This season, Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever squad has an incredible 41 nationally televised WNBA games. This is not an accident. It's a technique used by the networks, who are aware of exactly who is watching.
The commissioner is oddly and largely silent because I believe she's scared of the WNBA legacy media and the old guard of WNBA fans that are activist basketball fans. So she's like, I don't want them coming after me.
While collectors and fans are publicly acknowledging Clark's influence, the NBA's response has been oddly subdued. They recently inked a huge $2.5 billion media rights deal, which was 11 times larger than their previous contract and coincidentally occurred just as Clark joined the league. However, rather than announcing their rookie sensation as the reason for this financial windfall, the league's leadership appears hesitant to fully embrace what's happening.
You could buy a decent house for that, laughing my ass off. Here in East Texas, you could buy a damn nice house. You could have a new one built here for that, to be honest with you. Probably 1,800 square foot, 2,200 square foot, with all the amenities. Caitlin is literally an economy. She deals in money and gold. She's a monster on the court, a monster off of it. Oh, the WNBA be back, already missing Fever games. Angel Reese autographed box of Reese's Puffs sold for $9.99. Is that real? Is that real? Oh man, I should have went to the auction and looked that up before I did this video. I'm not going to go look now, but wow, that's freaking hilarious, and that's insane, is what that is. Once again, Caitlin Clark taking the needle and breaking the needle off. Look, there is a reason why she's in 41 of 44 nationally televised games.
Why the hesitancy sources indicate that the commissioner is treading carefully because publicly recognizing Clark's star power runs the risk of offending the league's longtime fans and established players. But those TV schedules reveal the truth. When you include 93% of a single player's games in your nationally televised games, you're sending a very clear message about who is running your company.
This is going to be history. It's like what I told her. That's pretty epic that we get to watch her, because not a lot of games here in Dallas with somebody that big of a star.
The league executives are aware of the delicate situation they find themselves in behind closed doors, and they genuinely worry about what would happen to those numbers and that lucrative new media deal in the event that Clark were hurt. It's the worst-case scenario that no one wants to talk about in public. Although one rookie shouldn't have this much financial clout, the viewership figures are unmistakable.
Supported. A lot of people say that Caitlin Clark moves the needle. That is wrong. She is the needle. She dictates. We all know what she's done on the floor. It's history, right? But off the floor, my goodness, she and the Indiana Fever accounted for 45% of all the broadcast value of the WNBA last season.
The fact that Clark's fame spreads further complicates matters. Beyond simply ardent basketball fans, her jersey sales have skyrocketed, and the NBA is taking notice because they see the potential of her crossover appeal and how she's introducing basketball to completely new audiences. Production is also finding it difficult to meet demand.
Man, this league better learn to protect their cash cow. $366,000 rookie card, their cash cow, or they're going to be in a real bind. Because if they look up and she gets injured or something like that, ABC and ESPN and CBS and whoever else is involved in that new juicy media rights deal is all going to be given the fuzzy eyeball and the side eye directly to the commissioner.
Despite openly claiming that the league's success is a team effort, the WNBA is in an unprecedented position. Their corporate actions and scheduling choices show that they are mostly depending on Clark to develop their economic future. The $2.5 billion deal is a wager on Clark's future trajectory rather than just the league's expansion.
Reporters, once again, Caitlin Clark does something that's never been done before, and it's just steadily increasing. I say $500,000 is on the table at some point. Within the year, maybe, if that long, somebody's really going to step up and nail out one of these cards. I wonder what, celebrity or sports player paid for this card. That's just, I wonder about that.
What's the bottom line in this case? In addition to revolutionizing women's basketball, Caitlin Clark is also redefining the entire economy. According to insiders, she is driving the bus and the sale, and that $366 card is tangible evidence that we are living through a once-in-a-generation phenomenon.